Time is speeding up. Chaos is shifting into a new level, and we feel the pull to unlock the mysteries of the universe. Timeless spiritual wisdom offers the point of stability to navigate these times and to open our greatest potential. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the fun and knowledge of visionary best-selling authors Shri and Kira as they explore these mysteries and invite your higher love to come forward. And now, here are Shri and Kira.
Namaste and welcome to Explore the Mysteries. I am Wisdom Teacher Shri Ram Ka.
And I am Master Lady Kira Ra. And welcome to our moment. The hour is at hand. It is our time. And if you're watching this on video, you're seeing Shri and I smiling because tonight we're going to share with you a profound energy and an exploratory show where the word hour is actually O-U-R. The hour is at hand. This is our moment. And so as we come forward in that, Shri and I wanted to first open up by inviting all of you, if you have not already, I'm going to scooch aside so people can see. This is, of course, many of you already know, the Shield of Zadkiel.
And the Shield of Zadkiel radiates a powerful centering energy that connects with the blue jewel of your heart.
Yes, and this is the cross of perfect balance that radiates and calls forward your divine nature. Bear in mind that the medicine shield, this is a medicine shield of the heart, and that the four medicines, when they come into balance, ignite the central medicine, which is the medicine of our consciousness, and the hour is at hand. And so if you have not yet visited shriandkira.com, wow, go get there. We are currently have just launched the Worldwide Shield Project. People are reprinting the shield. When you get to shriandkira.com, right there on the homepage, right at the top, you'll see where you can connect and download these for free. People are printing them out. They're going in temples in Thailand and all over the world. Of course, here at Tosa Blue Mountain, we're getting photographs from all over Europe and all over the United States and South America. We are collecting all of these and we'll be bringing them all together and birthing them out collectively at the WWA Global Festival. I mean, this festival is amazing, and it's going to be kicking off. Of course, this is the equinox energy. So two things that I just want you to really make a note and write down right now. Go to shriandkira.com and get the shield, download it, print it, send us where you're leaving it, learn about the program, and go to wwaglobal.com and get here in person or get there virtually, but be there. This festival, every day, more is happening around this festival.
Absolutely. This is an opportunity to participate in the conscious awakening and healing of the heart of humanity.
Absolutely.
Your consciousness makes a difference. Be there.
And it is our time, right? I mean, it just brings us right back to where we are. So again, I hope you wrote that down. shriandkira.com and wwaglobal.com. And hopefully as you're joining, if you're watching us, the Shield of Zadkiel is you already know. You're already connected. And so, Shri, let's dive into this extraordinary journey that we're taking this evening at this moment in time.
Well, absolutely. There is a wonderful message that we're going to be reading from. And this message comes from the Society of Crystalline Light. And this, whenever they offer a name like that, I smile because they're using words that we're comfortable with to communicate that this is a grouping. This is a group of ascended beings that are radiating divine light and wisdom to inspire and help us remember a deeper level of truth of who we really are and why we're here.
And you know, this ensoulment is so profound because we, as you all know, here we are in February, and right now, remember, February is a choice month. And that means that everything that has been happening, everything that's been put in front of you is to offer you greater trust. And as we are here tonight, right now, if you're catching this, so to speak, live when we first premiere on the 21st of February, remember that on Friday the 19th, Mercury went direct and that pull ended and the spotlight came on. Who met that energy? Because that was a moment. If you just go back 48 hours, go back to Friday, how were your interactions that day? What revealed itself? It was all about the revelation. And then, of course, just yesterday on the 20th, we literally formally and in any other way stepped into the post-retrograde phase because we're not complete yet. That's what you need to remember. It is our time, but we are not yet complete. And when we move into next month, when we move into March, March is awareness. It is eyes open, high heart, forward, visionary energy. And it's like an explosion of consciousness. And this is why it is so important. And this is why, heads up, Shri and I, March 1 will be our final new broadcast for the month of March, and we will not be back on with a new show until the 29th of March because we are that committed to what's happening on the planet. We must dedicate 100% of our energy to the WWA Global Festival, wwaglobal.com, because it's that important. So tonight's I found it so profound, Shri, that this came forward right now because it really is this moment in every way.
Yes, it is. You know, and we are at a moment of ever refining grandeur.
Oh, there's a word.
Because we are all lifting and refining. However, sometimes our attention is captured by that which is familiar rather than that which is emerging. Mm-hmm. And sooner or later, we take a breath and we kind of unhook from the magnetism and notice, oh my goodness, there is so much beauty here. There is so much emerging here. There is so much positive that is expressing just alongside that which is declining. There is that which is emerging. And it's up to us to notice it and applaud it, because where you put your love is what gets magnified. So when we give our attention to what's emerging, what is positive, we call that forward. It's so simple, yet it requires consciousness.
So breathe that in, because that's what the medicine shield is it not? And this was another recent everything kind of coming together to support us all. You know, if you're tuning in to explore the mysteries, whether it's your first time with us, whether it's your 1000th time with us, what matters is that you're here, you found this show, you found this moment, because there is something within inside of you that's wanting a greater depth of understanding. And for those of you that join us every Monday night, where we literally unlock all those ancient codes, what we know is that the word understanding is really code for relaxing the left brain so that the master you are can come in, anchor, and really call forward that law of instantaneous manifestation. So I love that the hour, O-U-R, is here. Sit back right now. Take a, if you can, just kind of relax. If you've got a beverage, go ahead and snuggle up to it. And we're going to read you this in its entirety first. It's not very long. And we want to read it to you in its entirety first and let go of trying to understand it and just allow us to invite you to flow. And after we share this entire installment with you, we are going to go back and unravel this, because there's a lot of a really important detail here that is so valuable for all of us and answers so many questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is a message of manifestation. And I know that each and every one of us that's tuned in here is saying, yes, a bit more abundance, a bit more positive manifestation. Yes. So in the energy of the yes, let us be open to this communication.
And so the Society of Crystalline Light speak.
Our nature. As you dive within the experience of this moment of formed creation, the moment of celebration arises. Deep within, the vast energetic flow that is your divine mastery nature, that which is expressing into form now.
This energetic flow of experience is carried as both your divine nature and the collective experience, or our nature. Relax your mind and invite receptivity. Let us expand through sharing the greater understanding of the experience of our nature. For indeed, the hour is at hand.
Now you may say this is a play on words, and in many ways it is. It is a play on words. This is a gentle reminder that it is all play.
Yes.
When the hour is at hand, the time experience, or hour with an H-O-U-R, reveals itself. This is the energy of culmination when all comes back together. The hour is at hand. And also, the hour is at hand.
We offer this remembrance to you in the full recognition that to be in the reunified state of your divine wisdom, it is a wisdom-filled experience. It is to recognize that you are whole. You are complete without the need to rationalize.
To rationalize is to make small, is it not? It is to ration. To consider the need to ration arises from a cup that is not full. To ration means that there is great concern about insufficiency, the preoccupation with a cup that is already emptying, thereby validating the self-fulfilling energy that there will not be enough. When the energy of insufficiency in all of its broad experiences of not being enough or not having enough becomes the primary focus, this creates an energetic imbalance where doubt, fear, and concern manifest.
Within the concern and the fear that is wrapped around the preoccupation, the mind steps forward to try and create a resolution. The mind says, aha, I have come up with a plan. And then the plan says, we shall allocate, we shall ration, and we shall offer simply enough to sustain, yet not enough to live. Simply enough to sustain, yet not enough to live.
Your heart already knows that the hour is at hand, and the celebration here is to command. The need to continue to rationalize, to limit, to come from an aspect of density creation that there's not enough is indeed a perpetuation of the separation that your heart is now calling to wholeness. To release the need to rationalize is to invite the glorious connection of the hour at hand.
And that's the O-U-R. So let us use the example of food. We make this choice in a world of density because food is often rationed. Food is often feared. It is the fear of running out of food or the fear of not having enough. And that energy is a preoccupation, is it not? This preoccupation spans the complete breadth of the density experience. This experience at one end of the spectrum requires those who must beg to eat. And at the other end are those who have plenty and cannot see that the excess causes the imbalance, as does the extreme begging for that which is easily offered by the loving environment of a planet that sustains your form. All beings have their own perception of what is enough. The questioning that continues, always asking, do we have enough? Are we prepared? Where is more coming from? How shall it arrive? How is it prepared? Is it safe? Is it healthy? Beloved ones, within your divine nature is the ever bountiful food of the soul, the ever bountiful energy of the universe, and the ever bountiful energy of our nature that is without diminishment.
Living in a rational world. Living with full alignment into a rational world is simply the mastery process that you have chosen. To always be in the rationing energy. I will ration my time. I will ration my love. I will ration my ability to connect. I will ration my attention. I will ration my intelligence. I will ration my body. I will ration everything. releasing rationing energy ignites the mastery awareness that embraces the energy of the bounty of ever-present enoughness.
Now, for some, this is a joyous message of divine freedom. To be in the energy, the moment, the hour, OUR, at hand, living with the conscious awareness that the hour at hand is a joy-filled homecoming of bountiful reunion, a blessing that permeates the oversoul and unifies all that you are while still in form. Now, for others, this may be perceived as a message of polarization or found frightening to consider the release of the density experience, declaring, oh, no, I must be rational. Only rationality exists. I must ration to be sure I have plenty. I must be sure that all is in order according to my rational brain. It is in your own divinity to celebrate all and to experience all. Only through the rational do you find the bountiful. Only in the bountiful can you master fully, understand, and comprehend the rational. And so it is.
So it is.
Let's just maybe take in a breath, right? I mean, how are you feeling, right? How are you feeling right now? And remember, you want to come back and visit this often. You might want to just go to that part and just receive this beautiful gift as it is, because this energy, and what you're reading here, this in its entirety will be published in the Sedona Journal of Awakening in the April issue. So if you want a hard copy, Sedona Journal of Awakening April issue, it will be right in there. And this is a profound moment, Sri, because really what we're saying is, what is the meaning of like this hour at hand and our true nature? What is that?
Well, it's very clever, the play on words, because the OUR is similar pronunciation to the HOUR, hour.
Identical, really, right?
And so the hour sends us message of together.
Yes.
Of
the togetherness moment.
Who is this hour? Who are you unified with?
Right.
And the unification energy is a little different than rationing, is it not? Which is a separation. We'll talk more about that.
Yes, we will.
But I enjoy this angelic play on words, because the OUR is saying us. The HOUR is saying something has been separated. Time is up, which is another form of separation.
Well, because all time is a limitation.
Yes.
And this is why, like you look at the Shield of Zodkiel and even this ensoulment and the moment we're in right now, we are in a moment of complete unification. I love near the end of the ensoulment where they talk about, hey, for some, this is going to be awesome. For some, it's not going to be awesome.
Yes.
It's your choice. And that's why we're talking about this right now, because in this culminating moment of February, as we're claiming this choice moment, what we do right now really matters. And remember, February, March, and April are one energy. And so as we move into March, it's like the peak of the pyramid. And then as we move into April, we're claiming this mastery in a way we keep up-leveling, like every single month. And so the hour is at hand. Right. In every way, right?
And another thing that they're referring to is our true nature.
There it is.
Because pause for a moment.
Right.
Our true nature is of love. It is of the divine energy flowing into the individuated form. And I want to ask, is the divine lacking? I don't think so. Right. I know it's not. That the creation energy, the energy that animates you and all creation, is abundant and flowing. Yeah. And that as a conscious participant in the creation flow, we have the ability to command the experience, to command the manifestations. And for people who have been invested in separation, which we gets back to rationing, it takes a little practice to unwind the habit of believing in and co-creating lack.
Well, this is why I think throughout this entire ensoulment, they use the word understanding a lot.
Yes.
Right? Because they're always talking about the understanding, and this is exactly what you're sharing. We have this inherent understanding that comes from our belief systems, that comes from everything that we do. In ascended numerology, there's the sacred sequence. And in the sacred sequence, everything we do, we choose first and foremost this timeline. And this is so important, especially as we have this play on words by the Society of Crystalline Light, because the Society of Crystalline Light is the all. It's the ultimate group saying, look, if you want us to appear as an archangel, we will. If you want us to appear as a Ascended Master, we will. But in the end, we are all one. We are that divine energy. And so even how they come forward to present this one, I think is very, very profound. And as this hour has come now, you took birth to be in not only this timeline, this experience of this timeline, this dimensional moment. And in the sacred sequence of your incarnation, the first thing you picked was the date, because even the way we reflect linear time determines where your soul's journey is expanding. And then the hour, right? We go from the date to the place, Gaia. So we are here now because it is our time. We chose to be here now because we have taken consciousness beyond where it has ever been before. And we knew that if this moment came, we would gather together here again. And then there's this thing they bring up, which is the greatest, and I want to Sri, maybe we'll quote from this directly. It's this rational piece.
Yes.
It's this need to not only rationalize, but I love how the Society of Crystalline Light really points out to us and says, look, when you're rationalizing, you're actually limiting your expansion. You're rationing your brain capacity. This 10% brain or whatever, self-imposed.
Right.
When we rationalized, we are saying everything has to have a purpose and a reason that I can explain. Thereby, we keep dropping our level of consciousness.
Many years ago when I was an undergraduate in college, I took my first class in economics. And on day one, the professor said something along this line. Economics has arisen from the reality of scarcity.
That's it, scarcity-based.
And that all economic theory is how to manage the scarcity.
Exactly.
Well, consider that how permeates mass consciousness. There will never be enough. We need to put away for the rainy day. We need to ration our money.
And be worried about it.
And be preoccupied that we won't have enough. Now, that preoccupation creates a self-fulfilling prophecy.
And that's what they're talking about, right?
Exactly.
It's amazing.
And so the belief that the cup will never be full, as opposed to see a half-full cup as always half full or regenerating itself.
Eternally regenerating. That's how we reverse age.
And so the whole concept of, and I hate to use the word concept, but we could start there, of abundance.
Right.
Involves more than the rational approach to solving the problem of abundance. Abundance is the nature of the universe. It's always expanding, always creating. It is abundantly flowing and creating. To believe that we need to ration that is directly contrary to the very nature of who you are.
Which is exactly why you're having that experience.
And so
right?
In your great power as a powerful divine being, believing in the need to ration and control, you're going to create experiences that give you practice at that.
And how fun is that? And that is the gift of awakening through that, because we struggle, we're upset, we're worried, we preoccupy, we obsess. All of that is the block. That is the interference. That is the limitation. When you meet something with self-doubt, when you come in as a victim, then everything is always going to be seeking a rescuer and an abuser, and you will stay in a lateral flow. This is why Zadkiel said, here is my cross of perfect balance. Here is the cross of perfect balance. And I do always smile that when Sri and I lived in Guatemala and we were so blessed to work, I found a picture of Don Celso the other day, by the way, a really good one that I'll get out there for you guys. We were very blessed to live among the Highland Maya for 7 years, and a lot happened. Sri was initiated as a Mayan priest. I was initiated as a cosmic oracle, curandera, and we have the artifacts here. We have a real, authentic Mayan ceremonial site sitting in the heart of the Cañari, and that's a lot of unification because these tribes really needed a lot of healing among each other. And one of the things when you make a ceremony for a Mayan ceremony, you start with sugar and you make this cross of perfect balance, the equilateral cross.
Yeah.
And I remember it was Don Simeon, who was our spiritual guide into the mysticism of the Maya for a very long time. And I remember when he would giggle. Remember that? The first time he ever drew this, he giggled and he said, nobody ever died here. The cross of equilateral experience is the cross of the divine balance, that all sacrifice is a lie, that all we need to do is remember who we are. It is that eternal presence that is beating. And this is why it is the medicine shield of the heart, because you have to collect and keep the 4 medicines in balance to keep the consciousness expanded. And everything we're talking about is here to steal that away from you, to say that that consciousness is going to stay wobbly and out of balance because you're rationing. And what's interesting is, one of those 4 medicines is the physical body. Yes. Right? And so it's really, and you used to describe this so well at our Avesa when we do our big in-person workshops, that these are propellers, right? Yeah. My pilot here had a wonderful propeller description.
Well, if we consider for a moment that if any aspect of our being is out of balance, how do we smoothly move forward?
Right.
And so, like the propeller on a ship or an airplane, if one aspect of your being is commanding everything you do and the other is small, it's a wobble.
It is.
And so finding balance begins with balancing wisdom with love, and then bringing that wisdom and love to each aspect of our existence.
Breathe that in. And I want to read what they said right here, because I think this is just so important to say again. Let's just start here. When the energy, would you read it?
Sure.
Okay, these just read through here to there. Yep. Okay.
When the energy of insufficiency in all of its broad experiences of not being enough or not having enough becomes your primary focus, when this energy of insufficiency becomes the primary focus, this creates an energetic imbalance where doubt, fear, and concern will manifest. Within the concern and the fear that is wrapped around the preoccupation, the mind then steps forward to create a resolution.
Now, I just want to point that out. When the mind steps forward, the spirit has yielded because the mind has taken command. We're going to talk about this in a minute.
And so because of this preoccupation energy and this doubt and fear, the mind says, oh, okay, I have come up with a plan. And the plan says we shall allocate, we shall ration, we shall offer simply enough to sustain, yet not enough to live. Simply enough to sustain, yet not enough to thrive.
There it is. So breathe that in. Is your life simply enough to sustain, yet not enough to live? If that is, and what does live mean? And can you get beyond the fact that you think Zadkiel's only, or that the Society of Crystal and Light is only talking about money? Because that's, money is not in here. What they are saying is enough vital life force, enough connection with your sacred beingness. Do you have just enough to sustain it? Just enough of a little thread that goes, oh yeah, I'm doing this on the weekends. Or do you have the rich, robust, pulsing inspiration 24/7 that reverse ages you, keeps your body in perfect condition and sustains you? That's living. That's living. The world, I had a beautiful conversation with a being earlier today. And one of the gifts is that in the world right now, and they're working in a very, very corporate environment, and they're very, very, they don't like it. They recently had their eyes open in a way that has really shook them to their core. And really the only difference is that they're working with an organization that still puts money first. At the end of the day, make no mistake, it is about money, period. And that is absolutely the way you would be taught to do that in any, I was an economics major. That was the way you would be taught. It's always about, that's why corporations are now people, right? Put the money over the people. Well, what if, because the hour is here, what if we are modeling that from the abundance model, when we all come together and bring our resources, whatever our talents are, that when we come together, in that moment, what we are doing is we are inviting the inspiration to come through us, and we inspire, thereby calling in the law of instantaneous manifestation, which has the alchemical properties of all of the transformative energy that you already know how to do. You already know this, and you're connecting here right now because you are ready to claim it. But it's the self-doubt and it's all of that imposed fear that is stopping it. And the hour is at hand to know that we are the mainstream. We've just been suppressed because the greed took over. But in this moment of balance, in this moment of bringing the divine feminine and masculine into perfect balance, we can model that any sense of lack is nothing more than part of the illusion.
Take that in for a moment. The belief in lack is illusionary.
Yes.
Know that. I mean, we can talk about it, but just know it.
Yeah.
In a world of infinite creation, in a world of infinite expansion, or a universe, not just a world, a universe of expansion, we can create poverty. That's permitted. We can create lack. That's permitted.
And sometimes we come in to do that.
Sometimes we need the experience of the opposite in order to claim the emergence.
Exactly.
Sometimes we grow through discernment.
And that is really important because this year, right now, when we went through the Lunar New Year, remember we brought in this year of the ox. And this is all about the year of spiritual tenacity and really honing our spiritual discernment. So thank you for bringing that in because it's really important.
And to hone your spiritual discernment means I am willing to let go of my attachment to the way I think it is or ought to be.
Yes.
I'm willing to let go of my beliefs and instead trust my nature. Now, at the first blush, when we first start to trust our nature, we may notice the fear that was keeping those beliefs in place. We may notice, I feel a little insecure in the world. I'm uncertain. Just notice, is that the deepest truth about you? Or is that a surfacey vibration, an emanation? And as we breathe, and this is why a meditation practice or other spiritual practices can be so beneficial, is they help us move past the superficial.
There it is.
To get past the world of perception, the world of the surface, and move into something that is more essential. As we connect consciously with the essential, there is always a sense of peace. There's always a sense of love. And for almost everyone, if they hang out there a little longer, they discover that there is always joy.
Yeah.
Peace, love, and joy are the worldly terms that describe the energy of your essence.
And they are the foundation of the yoga of self-ascension. And hey, if you don't know the yoga of self-ascension, a great way that you can serve yourself in two ways is go to wwaglobal.com. And right there, if you scroll down, is our free ebook. And so you can claim the free ebook and learn more about the yoga of self-ascension while you are registering for the summit. And so this festival is going to be amazing. Please join us because this is the moment. It is our moment. And we are stabilizing the ascended Kundalini, not only of ourselves, of our entire world. Remember that when that Kundalini moved, when it came over from the Himalayas and moved over to the Andes, and Drumbelow talked about this and a lot of others talked about this, what happened was that, yes, it came, but it's never stabilized. It's been kind of like wildly thrashing. And what's happened in 2021 is because of the opening of the concentric dimensionality, we're now seeing that India is destabilizing because this Kundalini has to get stable. So until this stabilizes, India is just carrying too much for too many. And in the rise of Kali Yuga, the perversions are coming out everywhere.
Yes.
And remember that this is the time when the truth will be seen as a lie and the lie will be seen as a truth. And the gift of that, because there's always a gift, right? The gift of that is that it's the time for this. That's why Zodkiel gave us the gift. It is the time to say, okay, if I know that the truth is a lie and I know that the lie is the truth and I want to release my rational brain from going, oh my God, how will I ever keep up with this? You've got to trust yourself. That is the yoga of self-ascension. It's about knowing and learning how to really trust yourself through that discernment filter.
Absolutely. And the discernment filter is always about the deeper level of truth.
Yeah.
When we say trust yourself, and when we talk about the shield of Zodkiel, we're referring to anchoring in your ascended heart.
Yes.
This is the love that is connected to the soul. This is the love that is connected to your essence. This is the state of being that knows peace, love, and joy.
The foundation of the yoga of self-ascension.
And peace is the first energy. Peace is the stabilization. Love is the expansion. And joy is the conscious recognition that we're awake, that life is happening.
Right? And I love when Archangel Zodkiel, if you've never read our groundbreaking book, Sacred Union, The Journey Home, read it. This is in there. And I love how Zodkiel was so clear that you cannot do anything until you have the peace. And so many jump to the heart because it's easy to jump to the heart. You can rationalize. Interesting word, right? Sound familiar? You can rationalize at the heart. You can hide behind the perception of love in so many misunderstood, disempowered ways. None of that will sustain. You will not ever be able to hold it. It'll be there and you'll go up and down. You're going to cycle. You won't be able to manifest. You won't be bringing in anything because you never brought in the peace. And Zodkiel just has such a beautiful sharing about this because the peace is also that first chakra of the body. It's that base of the spine. It's that foundation. When the foundation is peace, it means you now trust the universe. You know that no matter what you are shown, you can handle it. You know, I had another conversation with someone earlier today, and the one thing I shared with her that I know that has gotten me through more times than not, and especially when I feel like I have too much to do in a small time, is that I know with all my heart, and I really know and trust that I am never given more than I can handle and that I am ready for, and that sometimes you have to take it one breath at a time. And that might be the moment we're all in right now. But the gift is we're in it together, and we're remembering together, right?
We are the hour. We are in this together.
Yes.
We are co-creating this together. Mm-hmm. And there is a lot of co-creation that is done quite unconsciously.
Yeah.
And as you connect with the deeper truth of your own ascended heart energy, as you connect with other beings who are holding this energy of awakened hearts and awakened consciousness.
Exactly.
Not only do you find your community, you find reassurance. You find a stabilization of this, and that ripples out as a clarion call to all beings who are a little more sleepy to begin to wake up.
Well, I love this.
You don't have to do anything. It happens automatically.
But you do have to do one thing, and I love this. The one thing you have to do is stop focusing on the you know what, the BS.
Yes.
Stop focusing on everything that the mind wants to rationalize and feel fascinated with. If you listen to anything that leaves you feeling agitated or gets your adrenaline running or gets you to a point where you can't sleep and you're worried and you're preoccupied, you're outside of our nature. And I want to read this one line to you because it is so revelatory. As you dive within the experience of this moment of formed creation, just breathe that in. And there's a comma here. That's just the first half. So as you dive in within the experience of this moment of formed creation means you have said, yes, I get it. I'm here by choice. I get it. I am diving in consciously aware of the balance of the medicines, carrying my form as a shield of divine, inspired, co-creative nature. I'm going to read the first half again, but this time I'm going to finish. as you dive within the experience of this moment of formed creation, the moment of celebration arises. Now, this is so revelatory if you really are going into what it's saying. What they're saying is the moment of celebration arises when you break free, when you have stabilized that peace, when you have sincerely walked into empowered love, thereby claiming the joy of our nature. This is not emotional joy. This is that, the way I like to describe it is, this is that eternal smile. It's the moment where you break free and you're loving yourself enough to smile at everything that used to make you crazy, to smile at all the things you were worried about and to go, oh my God, I see it. I see it. This is that Einstein moment when the level of consciousness has lifted and thereby sees all of the resolutions to that which was created at a different level of consciousness.
And you cannot think your way up to a new level. You can only refine limitation with the mind. The mind will refine limitation. It does not create liberation. Your heart is the portal, the gateway to lift you. Remember, the mind decides what's right and wrong based on a belief, and that belief can change depending on what group you're in and now what's right or wrong. There is no true truth. There is only rationalization in the mind. Yet the heart knows the way.
It does, it does, it does, it does. And the heart can also be what stops a lot of people because there is such a common misperception about what is heart energy. What does living from the heart mean? And how many beautiful broke beings do you know that live from the heart and are doormats? I want you to just breathe that in. They take on everybody else's pain. They never get fair exchange for any of the services. And so meaning that if you are giving healing services, counseling services, whatever you do, if you are just giving it away because I'm just giving it all away, then don't be surprised that you're not getting anything back. That's not in perfect balance. This doesn't have to be about money. And I want to ask how many of you are thinking that way, because if money keeps coming up as your inference, as your level of looking at things, then that's the first step.
Yeah.
The first step is to remember there is infinite supply. There is infinite supply. To step outside of, I'm going to read that quote one more time because it's so powerful, to step outside of simply enough to sustain, yet not enough to live. How about there is more than enough to sustain, thereby through your living, others are able to be sustained. Take that in. The ultimate service is that your life, your beingness assists others to sustain, who assist others to sustain, who assist others to sustain. You know, that's what we're modeling here at Tosa Blue Mountain. If you're coming to join us for the WWA Summit Festival, very exciting. You're going to be living in that energy. You get to try it on. And remember, we're doing this again in September. Come try it on. Come learn what it feels like and then embody, fill your cup. That's what we're doing together. We're filling all of our cups to get beyond that which does only sustain us and not allow us to live.
Beloved ones, we congratulate you on paying attention to your own upliftment and making the choice to expand. Because we've got to get all parts of us lined up with our consciousness. That shield with the cross of perfect balance means that every aspect of our being has a connection to our consciousness.
Wow.
We're going to be talking more about that in future shows.
We really are. And before we go, wwaglobal.com, be there. ShriandKira.com, get the shield, download the shield, send us, be part of the Worldwide Shield Project.
Yeah, and there's an article there that'll give you more information. And for right now, we say to you, thank you. We love you. We are blessed to be connected with you. And until we have the joy of being with you again, live in this presentation, may you breathe deeply and trust that all is truly well. Namaste.
Thank you for joining us at Shri and Kira Live. To have your questions answered, send us an email to guest@shriandkiraradio.com and check out more information
you next week. Namaste.